Hello everybody, in this lecture we are going to learn how we can create our strings and some useful methods for our strings. A string is a list of characters such as this sentence. In Python, strings can be defined using double quotes like here or single quotes. Okay, string type has many useful methods, but for now we will focus on lower, upper, split, addition and multiplication with strings. Let's get started. Firstly, I want to show how we can create our strings. I will use here double quotes, okay, and I will say this is a string. And if I press shift enter, as you see, I created my string with double quotes here. Can I use single quotes? Of course. Also I can use single quotes. Here I will say this is a string. And if I press shift enter, as you see, I didn't get any error. But for example, how can I create a kind of sentence? I am David, for example. How can I create this string? To do that, we need to use firstly double quotes, okay, and after that I need to say I, and now I can use single quote here. I am David, okay. And for example, how we can use double quotes in our sentence. To do that, we need to start with single quote, for example, and I will say here, he said something special. I will say here, for example, hi, okay, and close double quote here. If I press shift enter, as you see, I didn't get any error, but if I use something like that, I will get error, okay. And also I want to say something here. If you start with double quote, you have to end with double quote, okay. If you start with single quote, you need to end with single quote, okay. And now let's focus on our methods. The first one is lower method. Lower method which converts all characters to lowercase. What I mean here, for example, if I create a variable a equals, let's say, hello world, okay, and now shift and enter, I want to use lower method. If I say a dot lower, and now after that I need to print out a, right? If I press shift and enter here, as you see, Python returns me hello world, and this method converted all my characters to lowercase, okay. And the uppercase is similar here. Uppercase, I said upper method which converts all characters to uppercase, okay. And if I say here, for example, if I create b is equal to, let's say, I am, say David, okay, something like that, and after that I will here use upper method, b dot upper, and now if I press shift and enter, as you see, this method converted to all the characters here to uppercase, okay. And what is next? Let's also learn how we can use split method. Split method which splits a string into a list of words. What I mean here, for example, if I say, and let's create C, okay, the variable, and I will say here, I love Python very much, okay, and after that I will here say C dot split, and now if I press shift and enter, as you see, this method, it will it splitted all the my characters, actually the words, word by word, split it for me. But this is the default way, is we didn't pass in something here between parentheses. But if I pass, for example, comma or something else, how can I use this split method? Let's also see a kind of example about it. If I create another string here, and I will say red, comma, blue, comma, green, okay, and after that here I will say d dot split, and I want to split my string by comma, okay. If I say it, and let's check it how it is working, sorry, here must be a string, so I need to use quotes here. Okay, if I press shift and enter, as you see, my string splitted by commas here. Okay, I split it by comma, and this is how we can use split method. And what is next? The next one is addition and multiplication with strings. We can make addition and also multiplication with strings, but also we need to learn how we can do it. For example, if I say let's create x is equal to hello, or let's say here hello, and for the y I will say hello world. Okay, and after that, how can I make addition? For example, I need to say x plus y, and let's check it. As you see, now I can make addition with my strings. And how can I make multiplication with strings? Firstly, I want to show you something, and after that we can we can discuss about it. Okay, here I will say a equals let's say Python. Okay, and after that, here I want to say a times 3. Okay, and if I press shift and enter, as you see, Python repeats my string. It 3 times it repeated my string. Okay, that means multiplication for strings, it is repeating. But can I use this multiplication for x and y? No, I cannot. Let's try it. If I say x times y and check it, as you see, can multiply sequence by non-integer of type string. Okay, you can, if you want to use multiplication for strings, you can only use numbers. Okay, you can't multiply sequence by non-integer of type string. Okay, together, if you have two different strings, that means you cannot multiply for your strings, but you can multiply your strings with a number. Okay, and I think that's all. In this lecture we learn how we can create our strings and some useful methods for strings. For now, that's all. See you in the next.